I'm going to post a link in the group. Just 1 second. I'm going to exit out. I'll be right back. Okay. We'll see how many people come in. Whoever's to get notified will get notified. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hey, guys. So, my channel, you guys, it's not going to be for everybody. It's actually going to probably um, be a limited collective, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because my work, only certain people are going to want to see, are going to accept, are going to be involved in, I think. Okay, if that makes sense. And they do censor me, but I honestly find it bittersweet because I'm not out here to be famous and have a million followers. Okay. It's not what mission work is, anyway, is having 10 million followers. um, so, I was going to discuss some topics about like divine lineage, bloodlines, and things like that, and kind of some stuff that I feel like is going on in this world and coming to surface that's been hidden for quite some time. Okay, and it's triggering for some people because it kind of goes against a lot of things happening right now. Okay, so they're touchy topics. Um, you know, like lineages, you guys, is a big thing right now that I've been discovering more and more. So like a lot of you will realize the RH negative blood type, a lot of leaders have that blood type, and that's because of the lineage behind it, and the dark kind of took over, you know, some of the dictation behind the blood types, I feel. Okay, so I know a lot of you do have negative blood type. Not everybody. Some of you carry the gene. Okay, like my husband carries the recessive gene. Um, but it's not just that. Um, yeah, it's outside the door. Um, it's not just carrying the gene or having it there or whatever. It's the lineage behind a lot of it. Okay, there's a lot of like wisdom and leadership skills behind the blood type as well. That's why a lot of leaders have that blood type. A lot of spiritual healers and that sort of thing. Also, you guys, there's a lot of people with that negative blood type and that sort of thing. And there's a lot of things going around like they're trying to take over the world. That's because the dark hijacked a lot of it. So I'm not here to take over the world and be evil. So I'll tell you that right now. I'm not a perfect human being. And I do, you know, stay in my power and tell people to fuck off nowadays because I've learned how to do that. But I am here to plant seeds. I do know that. So yeah, and not all of them are negative that have abilities, but the lineage runs through and it like pops up here and there in the families is what happens basically. Because I know my grandmother was, and then I was, and like I don't think anybody else is, and then I have one daughter that is. So it just kind of randomly pops up, and I do feel there's something to it with the wisdom that comes along with it. And some people, like I said, they carry the recessive gene as well. It's very heavily Scandinavian. There's a lot of the original DNA for a lot of the Scandinavian and stuff like that that's involved. It goes pretty technical is what I'm figuring out. But it's one thing that's been hidden. Like that everybody's like, I don't know where it comes from, you know? So that's one thing I've always been very drawn to is that kind of thing for many years and trying to figure it out. But there's very limited information. They don't want you to know. So yeah, we're all here to fight evil takeover. That's what it is at the end of the day. Okay. The thing is, guys, with maritime law, we're literally signed up to be slaves, okay? And that's a really harsh reality, is that at birth, we sign a birth certificate, we get a given name by the maritime law, and it's basically, you know, brainwashed into accepting that we are slaves. Okay, so that's what's going on. And we are given a gold value, and every dollar that's circulating is supposed to have that amount of reserve in gold, and the countries don't. Okay, so there's been an overtake with that. So that's what we're balancing out. Unfortunately, it's costing a lot of lives, and I just have to say that openly. It's part of the reason why people are passing away is because of the maritime law. All right, that's why me being this bleeding empath is trying my hardest to accept this going on. Okay, so I don't wish that on anybody. I really don't. But there's an imbalance with the gold reserve and the dollar as well, and the fact that they've used human beings as a gold reserve for the countries and the debt that's in the countries. So I hope that makes sense. I know that's triggering, and it's a harsh fucking reality, trust me, because I am like, wow, I signed my children over to the maritime law. Okay, so I posted a lot of information in my group. I always knew we were owned. I always knew there was something behind that. Yeah, I know there's more to it with everything and the aliens as well. The aliens is behind the maritime law as well. There is some outside forces behind it. I think some things are a distraction from the truth behind what's really going on in this world, like even in spirituality, you guys, like star seeds and that sort of thing. I mean, there's something to outside forces in that, but in the bigger picture, there's the same goal as well. So it doesn't really matter what label, because everyone's like, what star seed are you? I'm like, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. Okay. And the royal families over in England and stuff like that, you guys, they're not the original initial royal families. There's some hijacking that's gone on there as well, and some dark agendas. So that's probably going to be revealed. It already is in the process, and the actual royal family is probably going to be stepping forward. Okay, and I do feel that this does have a lot to do with the new leaders stepping forward. Okay, I've kind of gathered that the past couple of days, that it has something with the leaders coming, clearing their karmic cycles, waking up and seeing this and stepping up, coming forward as well. But it's just like everybody and their dog thinks they're one of those right now. So nobody really knows who is, what is. I think it's just going to naturally occur. Okay, so anybody who thinks they're like the chosen and bragging and stuff like that, like I would just, be very wise about what you're trusting and what you're listening to. Okay, because I just feel like things are just going to fall into place like they're meant to with that. Okay, like, am I the chosen? I don't know. I'm just doing my work. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my mission. So it doesn't matter to me at this point. Yeah, and the old souls, you guys, like, we don't know the truth on, a lot of that either, where we come from. That's kind of stuff we're putting together, and there's just a lot of philosophies out there. I do know we've been recycled over and over again to be a part of the economical slavery plan here, to keep coming back and being this gold reserve, basically, and slaves, and it's just really sad. So, that's why people are passing away. You guys, like, your weight has a lot to do with your value. That's why they like to get us nice and plump over here, okay? So, yeah, there's going to be people drawn together in groups, and I do feel, you guys, that there's going to be like community living going on, and that is something that's been on my mind for a very long time, is starting a new community broken away from the system. And I do feel the people that are supposed to be part of that will be drawn together for that. So yep, that's what the Age of Aquarius says. But unfortunately, there's going to be the dark side of the Age of Aquarius, and that's the people that choose to keep going with the slavery. Okay, so, and there also is something to noble last names as well that's prevailing as well. Some people have noble last names, and the families have been silenced or pushed to, pushed over to the dark to do rotten things to get a bad name. And it was part of the plan all along, was to silence some of the noble families and the real lineages as well. So kind of shitty to hear that stuff, but it's just the truth. It was to fuck up some of the bloodlines, a lot of it. So we're not a one-size-fits-all person, you guys, and I'm just going to stick to that. Everybody's different, okay? We're supposed to be different. We're supposed to love. We're supposed to give out what we want to receive, that sort of thing, you guys, but we're not one-size-fits-all, okay? And That's why I feel like some of the, programs out there are trying to make everybody think that, like, there's not supposed to be any religion, there's not supposed to be any of this, any of that, and, any diversity whatsoever. And some of the, teachings with twin flames and divine counterparts is teaching that it's going to shatter all of these things. And I do feel that diversity is part of it. So to say like, oh, well, if you get in union with this person and this person, I don't know. I don't buy that 100%. Okay, to each their own. But I think in a sense that people just naturally are drawn to their own kind, so to speak, which is what we're doing right now because it's been like so split apart. So there's some truth to it, but then there's some, agenda behind it as well with divine counterparts and the truth behind that. And like I said, you guys, there isn't just one option for you either. So I'm seeing that to be false as well. So it's up to you what you want to believe. All right. I just feel like there's been a lot of hijack behind this shit. So that's why my teachings have been shifting a lot to your own individuality so you can manifest in your soul family and find yourself and find your true identity, because I truly feel that that was what it's supposed to be the whole time, is to balance your inner feminine and masculine, which is essentially like your twin flame, so to speak, like your inner masculine and feminine. So, and then you find your divine counterpart basically, or manifest that in. Okay, so which it could be the person that's on your mind. I don't know. That's not for me to decide. That's, totally up at your discretion. So, yeah, Heather, that is, yeah, it does. There's ego behind it. It's also promoting slavery. Sorry to say, you guys, but a lot of this keeping you stagnant and promoting you to stay in a wounded place and a wounded energy is just to promote more slavery and for you to not move forward with yourself and have confidence and stay in your fears and stay in the old timeline, which is not fair to do to you guys. So that's why I'm like, let's just put away this shit here, okay? The label, like, I didn't even know what it was initially. I was doing love readings and then everybody was wanting twin flame stuff. So that's how I discovered it. Okay. And I knew there was something to divine counterparts though. There was no doubt about that. I knew that right away. But then I started, realizing when I felt like there was devices being put on me by people that run the darker side of this. And once I got all that removed, I felt like a lot better, but I could feel the siphoning from it and everything like that. So I'm kind of glad in a sense these devices tried to attach to me from the programs with this, not with just twin flames, but with the darker side of spirituality, basically, I experienced it so I could have an inner knowing that, yeah, there's something else to it. Okay, so that's why, a lot of the clearings that we've done take these devices off and take these control cords off to free your soul, basically. Okay. Well, that's good that you're happy. That's what, that's freedom. It's freedom. Yeah, a lot of them are dealing with a dark one that they're stepping away from, and all of a sudden, like another one in the new timeline is manifesting in that's very similar to the other one, and just a lot higher vibration and more whole and that sort of thing. So like I said, I've been saying this all along, like, keep an open mind. Energy is energy, you guys. The human body is an illusion walking on this earth. We're in a matrix. Okay. It's almost like a video game with controllers on the outside. I mean, literally. So, and I've been noticing in the sky, like, more like satellites that seem to be surveillancing and shit like that. So there's more going on than we know. So, yeah. Yep, unfortunately, the dark occult is running a lot of this as well. It's involved the medical, everything, you guys. All of the system is, there's light in there, and it's a matter of getting that out so we can revamp this entire thing. That's why, if you're still obsessed with a love connection at this point, my work probably isn't for you. Because I'm all about healing and breaking free and stepping into individual power and balancing your inner energy is kind of where my work has been drawn to for quite some time anyways. So, yep, you have to keep, when you get cord cuts, you guys, cord removals, that sort of thing, they get grounded out of you. they do cause a lot of pain, physical pain, mental pain, purging, chakra cleansings, and it's not exactly lovely experience all the time. Some people are like, oh, I feel good. Some people feel good for a little bit and then shitty. So it just all depends, but it is soul retrieval. And then afterwards, you have to, keep up with the work. And, it seems like when people get cord removals, there's a sense around you that you're free all of a sudden. So you get contact from people from the dark timeline, and they try to lure you in. They try to tempt you to go back to your old ways. There's a lot of that because every time I have, any energy work done and stuff like that, I notice people text me immediately, because I tend to get a cord on me here and there because I'm one of those that caves in and, gives people my energy to try to help them. And it's people that don't want to help themselves too sometimes. So it's like, I've had to learn boundaries with that. So it is very strong to let go of things holding you back, because the cord removal also take away from, they also remove your past lives holding you back, trauma, ancestral karmic patterns are corded as well, a lot of different shit. So it's a lot. It's a lot. The anger starts to go, Heather, like, you do face a phase, like from my experience, like, pain from individuals in my life that I hadn't even thought about for a long time. And there was still a cord to them or to that trauma or pain. It did come up and I did have kind of a purge and got angry and a bit of a temper and stuff, but it was part of the process to let it out. Okay. Yeah, I've been really tired today. I slept till like noon and, on and off. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. The forgiveness is hard. And, you guys, it's not all about always forgiving. It's accepting. Does that make sense? Accepting what's happened to you and not be a victim and be a victor. Okay. Billy, I have quite a bit of a following that resonates more with the feminine energy, but they're balancing out. So, doesn't take away from who you are. You just resonate more with the feminine and the more awakened timeline, but that's balancing out now. And I tell them, like, you're still a man, like, and I've been helping some of the masculine following, learn to find their masculinity more and step into their more alpha power, so to speak. So they've been doing quite well with it. It's a process because it's okay to have a feminine side too. You're supposed to, right? I have more of a masculine side usually, so I've had to balance out the feminine in me more or less because I had a feminine distortion. So, right, yeah. And there's some people that, that live in this world that think they're strong masculine, but they're coming from a masculine distortion. So it's a matter of like balancing and healing and all. Yeah, Eloise, it's like a harsh reality. And I sent some people I know like this information and all of this, and some of them didn't do well with it and got very hostile with me and said it was false and bullshit. And that's fine. It's just, I planted the seed with them. So we are being lied to. The government lies to us, plays us. And the thing is, you guys, I was raised a Democrat, so I have a lot of Democrat views. I am totally, agreeing with a lot of their views. However, the Democratic Party has been hijacked and manipulated so horribly. And the too far right isn't any better, so I'm not going to play sides with that. But it's been hijacked and played. So democracy has been completely distorted. And I know that's what people want, is that sort of thing, but they're being played. They're being played to run this dictation at this point. The ones that are hardcore into we call the liberal stuff, the robotic AI, whatever, to basically put on this silent war. Okay? And a lot of people are going for it. And it's a matter of letting go of these beliefs. It's not, not the belief behind it, because I feel like a lot of people, like, they're like, well, I was a Democrat, I have beliefs Democrat, so do I. But it's the ego and the struggle to admit the party's been hijacked. But the right side, yeah, like I said, there's dark on both sides, so I'm not going to defend that. It's just that I have the most issues with the left side for some reason, okay? Um, you know, and I'm just going to openly say that. It's not, I don't care about your beliefs. I don't care what side you believe on. If you're too far extremist with either side right now, there's a lot being played, all right? Well, the people that are letting me down, Clark, are people that are ran by AI. So, you know, it's a matter of knowing the difference, because the people out there that are running a lot of this dictation and going along with it and being completely blinded are AI. So, what we're trying to get out is to break the AI, the control behind it, and get the natural humanity back. That's the goal. Okay? And, right, it is about right is right. But, it's just some of these people, they don't even know that they're running literal, they're silently being controlled to start a war. They don't even know it. They don't want to admit it. You know, and it's just like, basically the type of AI I'm talking about is the fact that souls are hijacked in, because I can see a soul level. Thank you for the donation. I can see the soul level of an individual, and people are totally AI ran, you guys. Their soul has antennas, devices. It's not good what I'm talking about when I talk about the artificial intelligence that I'm referring to. It's literally a hijack of the soul and dictated and ran. Okay? It's not good. It's prison. Okay? I've seen antennas on them, you guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I've also seen like cables that are almost, they're like energy siphoning pumps. I'm not even joking. It's insane. And the black slime injected into people from the AI is awful. I mean, it's not good. You don't want to be AI, okay? Oh, Facebook is ran by AI 100%, and I'm fully aware of it too. Our phones are ran by AI. Our phones are behind a lot of it. Our phones are behind a lot of shit. Life was so much more fucking peaceful before these freaking smartphones. But then they have the good side too. So, oh yeah, the AI programming, I mean, it's been going on for a really long time. It's been going on for like lifetimes, I feel, honestly. But it's been very heavy since the 50s. Very heavy. Well, if you want to be AI, I mean, that's up to you. I don't know why you'd want to be controlled, but it's up to you. Um, it's just that full AI hijack isn't a good thing. So, um, I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. um, some people have some AI, but lately, you guys, the diversity with the timelines is so heavy and it's coming back together, like I said. But people that have chosen the dark timeline and trying to go back to normal, so to speak, like I said, their souls have so much sludge in them right now, is what I've been seeing. And it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't. So, the AI is not ran by the good always. So, well, yeah, when I had with the false light ascension, because I do feel there's false light. Somebody says there's not, and don't judge, but yeah, there is. When I had those devices on me, I was sick. Sick. Okay, if you want to think that, Clark, that's fine. If you think being your soul being hijacked is cool, I mean, that's up to you, I guess. I'm probably not the right person to watch. All right, I'll just be honest. Um, I'm not talking about technology either, advancement. I'm talking about your soul hijacked. But to each their own. Go ahead. I think you probably should just get out of here. If you don't, it'd just probably be that person is just pissing me off. Sorry. Um, if they want to acknowledge their AI, they don't need to be in here. Um, they either don't understand or they're just a troll, in my opinion. That's how I see it. Because I'm trying to break this. I'm trying to break this control. So if they want to be controlled, they can go find another reader. I'm not going to promote soul hijacking. Sorry. Yeah. Or what some call the woke. Yeah, the woke is AI woke. I think some people are mistaking it as technology advancement or medical advancement and stuff. That's not. No, they don't get what I'm even trying to say. That's not what I'm. No, he or she, I think it might be she, I'm not real sure. Maybe it's, I don't know, whatever. It's just like the person that was in here giving me hell about mask and telling me to wear one to save their life and shit. I just don't want to hear that crap right now, okay? There's a lot bigger shit going on. And if you look from the outside in and saw that we look like a herd of animals that are being pushed to comply and obey and played and muzzled, you guys, like you would probably have a different perspective on that. They would, but they're not awake to it, and they're scared and they're traumatized and they don't know what to do. And for those type of individuals, I send my love to them because I understand. Thank you for the donation. I have an understanding, but at the same time, it's like, I know you have trauma. I know you're afraid. Okay, we all have like autoimmune problems and stuff like that because it's literally been installed and it's part of the trauma and it's part of the soul hijacking. Okay, literally, it causes autoimmunities having a bunch of your soul hijacked. It does. And if you read that book, that Love Bite book that Evie wrote, she even talks about how a lot of these connections, people start having autoimmunities. They start having all these issues from it because of the AI behind it. So, yeah. But like 1 out of 3 people have that autoimmunities now. They diagnose it left and right, and a lot of it is like unresolved trauma and soul siphoning. So, yep, Heather, that's common. And it doesn't even have to be these connections. It can be like just allowing people to siphon you in general. I feel like it causes a lot of autoimmunities and illnesses. Iron deficiency is a sign of soul siphoning, which I have iron deficiency quite often. And once I remove cords off me and stuff like that, it gets better. So mineral deficiencies, things of that nature, like a lot of illness. I truly believe that viruses are more likely to attack somebody that has a lot of their soul siphoned or has trauma and that sort of thing as well. Yep, the iron deficiency is a big one. The only thing, I like the book that Evie wrote. I think that's her name. I haven't read it all yet, but I'm trying to learn off it. And a lot of it correlates with what I've already said to you guys, but is that people are brainwashed to not trust the medical. I don't feel that's brainwashing. Okay, like that's the one thing I'm like, no. I think that everyone should be very cautious with the medical, and I think this year is proving that. So, yeah, doctors have Done a lot of misdiagnosing. I used to be on a lot of meds because the side effects of this med, and then you need to be on this med for those side effects. It's a fucking game. Okay, and I'm not against medications because some people do need them. I get that, but it's like they chase the med with the med with the med, and there's a lot of dark shit behind it. There's a lot of garbage and vaccines that you'd find under our kitchen sink that we're injecting into our children. It's bullshit, and that's where I'm like, I don't agree with that part of the book that I'm reading, that people are manipulated by the AI to not trust the medical, because I feel like you have to be cautious. Okay, and those good doctors and those good people will come out, and they do come out. There are ones out there. So, practicing medicine, you mean doing rituals in a sense? Yep, there's good doctors out there. I had a therapist that like listened to me, and I got education off me. So I was like, well, that's cool. If I can plant seeds like that. Oh, I'm good. Yeah, Barbara, yep, I was that person too. Yeah, I'm aware about diet soda. I just don't really care at this moment. Thank you. I'm a diabetic. I'm not going to drink a bunch of sugar, and I crave soda like no other. And I usually don't drink it, okay? Um, I don't really care. I don't have a perfect diet. I'm not going to be perfect. I don't believe in the vegan either, and I don't care what anybody thinks. But I crave soda really bad. And yes, I tried alternatives. Once I have the baby, the diet goes back to normal right away. But I'm just kind of sick of people being like, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I'm just sick of it. So sorry, I don't want to hear it. I can't drink a bunch of sugar, so I can't. I'm a diabetic. It's just when I'm pregnant, I crave weird stuff. I also get pica and crave really stupid shit. So, oh yeah. My daughter needed a dental procedure, and they wanted to do a COVID test, and I said nope. And they still took her. Yeah, it is about moderation. I usually drink water all day. Yep, sugar's the bad addiction. The baby's due on April 5th, on Easter, basically. Meth, yeah, I've never done meth, but I'm sure it's worse. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not one of those that can eat like 100% perfect, clean diets, the vegan diet. Nope, not for me. And I always get 100 emails like ways to have the vegan diets and da 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 da, and I'm not interested. I don't even answer them. Um, it just isn't for me. So I don't drink fluoride. As I avoid it as much as possible. I'm aware of fluoride. I'm aware of the metals. I'm aware of all that shit. I'm just not 100% perfect. So if you have to stress, how I see it, if you have to stress to eat this diet of perfection, then what's the point? Because the stress hormone is probably worse on your health. Because when I was trying to like be perfect and this and that, with my diet, like I was stressed. Like Yeah, and I've had eating disorders as well, and I don't want to be a food obsessed because that's when I gained weight. And I do feel you can manifest things with your mind with obsession about eating and food and stuff like that. And then I lost a whole bunch of weight, and I struggle with weight obsession anyways, and I just don't want to get obsessive about it. Okay. And people are like, oh, but you got to eat vegan diet to be spiritual. And I don't buy that either. So there's also amino acids and there's things like that in meat that you can't just get anywhere. So, and I don't eat a lot of it anyways. So I don't know why it's anyone's fucking business, you know? um, I just feel like things that people try to call people or try to put against people is just ways to try to silence them and stuff like that. And I'm just sick of it. Like the white privilege, I've gotten so much about that, and I'm done hearing that too. I'm just done with it. It's all ways to try to silence people in general from who they are, and I'm not listening to it anymore. So, yep, body image is a hard one. I feel like you're right there, Barbara. I will agree with you. I feel the same way. When we've done clearings, some people that are really strict into the vegan raw, they have stomach issues really bad. So, and I've tried it and I did get weak. And then I said that on my channel one day, so I got a bunch of emails about it. I'm like, I don't want emails about it. I don't like it. It's not for me. So, you don't have a brain in individualism? What is wrong with people right now? Yeah, I think people need meat too. Like, what gets me is everybody's so concerned about animals being slaved, okay? And I know there's mistreatment to animals. I'm not denying that at all. I lived on a small farm. We did not do that, okay? We didn't mistreat them. That's false. Not everybody does. When humans are slaves all along and we're owned, okay? Like, it's a distraction as well. There's so much going on in this world that's an absolute distraction off the fact that we are owned, enslaved, and played. So, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Look into maritime law. I posted a link on the bulletin board or the community board on my channel here about us being basically gold value and owned, and we were manipulated into signing off that right as a human. So, harsh reality. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't watch TV anyways, but I'm sure it's a real vaccination. It's probably saline. So, well, I'm not judging if you're vegan. That's up to you. I don't really care if you are. Just for me, they weren't. Yep, our parents handed us over. We handed our kids over. It just sucks. It's a hard reality. It's basically like, oh, you're just dead and you're owned. That's basically it. It's saying you don't have a soul. You're not a human. You're handing over your natural law. You're in that. And then paganism. I'm noticing paganism getting a lot of bad lately, okay? I'm sure there's a bad side to pagan as well, you guys. But pagan is like one of the initial belief systems that the Christianity branches off of, and it's about getting back in touch and grounded to Mother Earth and that sort of thing. So I've been trying to tell people, like, it's not what you think necessarily. But, I'm not here to tell people what to believe, but there are a lot of people that practice pagan. I know there is, and they feel like they have to silence about that too, because people are like, oh, it's evil, it's this and that, it's the Antichrist. And it's really not. It's Norse, you guys. It's one of the original spirituality things. So, yep, and you can actually look up how much you're worth. There's a website I posted in my group on Facebook, how much you're worth and how much is invested in you. And the more you weigh, the more you're worth as gold value. Literally. It's shitty. And even witchcraft isn't all that bad. You know, manifesting and things like that, like it's basically, so paganism, the initial definition is that God is everywhere, your church is everywhere, and you're, whole in self, and God is in you, and you're following that and that sort of thing, and Mother Earth is, you're connected to Mother Earth, basically. I mean, there's more to it, obviously, but people are like, oh, it's evil, it's Antichrist, but it's really not. It's one of the originals, what Christian branched off of, and a lot of people don't even know that, because they act like it's just like this demonic thing, but there's demonic to everything. There's the dark side of everything. It's called the same thing as my channel. The name of it is the same thing. Yes, Barbara, that's what I mean. Like, the concept of Christianity, I understand. However, the control behind it and the dictation, I don't agree with. And that's what it's been turned into. And it's about money. So, well, there probably is. There's dark side to pagan as well. But it's not what it's supposed to be. Because every single religion has been hijacked, you guys. So, but now here we are. Now there's going to be human sacrifices all over the world because of this shit, of everything going on, and there's not a lot we can do about it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying, you guys, just be ready, because there's going to be a lot of people passing away. I'm just sorry to say that. It's just the truth. Yeah. Yep, you can't go against other people's free will. That's why I'm saying some people, you guys, their souls, like, they're just going to choose to sacrifice themselves. And there's not a lot you can do. And I know a lot of you see it, you know it. You see people go down the dark timeline and you know exactly what they're doing. They're walking themselves right to that, and there's not shit you can do about it. So, yes, and that's what pagan represents initially, or some of the form of paganism or whatever. I don't really look into too much on labels because I don't want to label myself, but it is believing that you're free and you have a right to that, and that sort of thing as well. It's not supposed to be a dictation. Okay, it's like nobody controls you and you're a free human, basically. So there's nothing wrong with doing protection, manifesting, and things like that. I don't think there is. And right now, if people are doing dark stuff for the wrong reasons, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work because there's been blocks put up to it. I'm fairly almost certain of that. So if you're worried about somebody doing dark magic on you right now, you guys, then you're going to manifest that reality to yourself right now, because there's literally, it's not going to work. It's not able to. Okay? Because intent is very important when it comes to manifestations. So, and I feel like dark magic preys on fears and insecurities as well. So, being your whole self is the best protection that you can have. And they don't want that. The people controlling us, they don't want that. They don't want us to know. So, oh yeah, it's fears. And I have such a strong energy, you guys, that the other night I was in my fears, and, with pregnancy, I'm hormonal anyways, and I get in my head and stuff, and I had some fears I don't remember what it was. It was probably petty. And literally there was like candles going crazy. There was lights flickering. And I literally manifested in dark energy. So yeah. That when people pass away, you guys, they do give us the wisdom. That's kind of what we're getting back, is that initial wisdom. And people are like, oh, your ancestors are dark, your ancestors are bad, don't talk to them, because they don't want you to. Okay, and they want you to have guides, so you have AI control like on you. That's what they want. You know, and yeah, I get it that you can be fooled, that the dark side can fool you into think you're talking to a past loved one and that sort of thing. But as you like rise above, you start to know the difference. And sometimes you're not directly talking to them. You get it in your head, or it comes to you, that sort of thing. Your wisdom comes to you. Yeah, a lot of us have that lineage, and that's what they're trying to silence. That's why they say things like, "Oh, you're this, or you're that, or you have to do this," or like I just told people right out. I got some messages about being white privileged, and I ignored it, and I just said right out, I am not racist, I am not hateful, but I will not accept that term anymore, and I won't. And since that, it hasn't happened again. So it's just a way to silence you and try to get you to feel guilty and shameful for speaking and for being who you are, okay? Yep, some of them do talk to you. Some of them hand down their light to you, and then you literally get it installed, sort of thing, if that makes sense. My husband responded to something. What did he respond to? Oh, the chat's all messed up. Oh, my husband responded to it. I know he does like astral travel a lot in his sleep and stuff too. His energy is everywhere. People have felt him like during the day and and stuff like that. It's very weird. But as far as social media goes, he's just pretty quiet on social media in general. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he goes to people all the time, and I come to people too sometimes, and I don't know it. But I've also had some shapeshifters try to pretend to be me, because some people tell me these weird dreams and stories, and I'm like, no. But I think that stopped now because I did some protection on that. But I do feel that that's when I had those AI devices on me from the false light stuff. But that's been quite some time now. Yeah, he's very humble. Like, he got through his cycles and stepped into his power and stuff. And he gets people to try to energy come at him and things like that, so. He's an old Norse, Jack is. He hides his energy, though. He's not gonna, like, people can't find him that easily. He kind of hides. We kind of have to, because just the way it is. That's why I get a kick out of when people are like, oh, I talk to your guides and you're fakes. Like, I don't have guides, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, you have to protect your energy. You have to, and then there's people that always pretend they know you, and I just ignore them. Yep, you're not going to find him that easily. I'm not that easy to find either all the time, but because they choose to have guides. I never really did. And then I got told I had these guides. So all this sudden I did. That was part of the false light, you guys, was being told this stuff about guides and things like that. And they got on me. And I I started to feel shitty and stuff. And I didn't even like communicating with them. And then it was false. It was like the dark side control. And sometimes, you guys, these things are put on you when you're born. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but some people are like, I believe in them. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you what to believe in, but for me, no. Yeah, Jack works best with the ladies. Yeah, he does. He works best with the ladies. I was there and disappeared. Yeah, I have a lot of protection around my energy naturally anyways. I know I do. I've seen it. But people still try to get at me and stuff. Yeah. He did a lot of inner work. He did a lot of inner work, stepping into his power and releasing his dark side and releasing, you know, everything. So, just like the rest of us. So I'm going to see what's going on. The feminine, you guys. Some of you are going through like a release is what I'm hearing, or like a depression. I'm feeling that. So some of you are feeling like lonely when it comes to love is what I'm hearing, or some sort of longing energy or loneliness with love. That's what I'm picking up with the feminine side. So that's going to be a lot of you viewers. Doesn't have to be though, because some of you may resonate with the masculine side. Doesn't even matter at this point. Okay, energy's energy. But I feel like a lot of you, like, you're starting to distinguish the difference though between unconditional love and conditional love, or what I call like programmed love, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys are like, you're becoming open to love. Okay, or you're having an understanding that you don't have to save it for something, for one particular person. You know, I feel like you're being more open to the idea of divine love, you know, giving and receiving divine love. That's what I'm seeing with this Ace of Cups. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. You're having a new beginning when it comes to love, you guys. And it's like you passed some tests here and you're ascending past the old version of love and what you thought it was. And, you know, healing your heart space is a painful event, yes, but love shouldn't hurt, be begged for, all that good stuff, you know. And a lot of you guys are like, okay, I'm getting past this. I'm letting go of this old ways. I'm not going to sit here and thank you, Christine. I just saw that. I'm not going to sit here and beg for love. You know, that's what we did all our lives, is we beg for love. And we were taught that we had conditions behind it. And we were taught all these things. And so we were loving from a wounded place. Okay. So that's basically what you guys are getting past right now, is like this wounded love, or these wounded places from love and that sort of thing. So I feel like you guys are, you know, you're shooting past that old mentality. Okay, you're getting into divine love and what it truly is and what it truly consists of and what it truly means. And accepting divine love, giving and receiving divine love, you guys, is actually painful in the beginning because you don't even know what the hell it is. Because we've been programmed and it's been installed to avoid it because it's bad or it's toxic. And, you know, and then people get in these toxic cycles to avoid divine love, that sort of thing. Okay, or that you had to be a certain way, or you got to eat a certain diet, or you have to do all these certain things and on in these programs, and divine love does not run on a program. Okay, does that make sense? Some of you are turning away from a masculine energy that was distorting your view on divine love. That's what I'm hearing. Okay? And you're looking for a masculine energy that's in their truth, that's in their power, that's not going to play games. Okay? Because a lot of you have been dealing with a masculine energy here that's been just distorting your view completely, and it's like taken away, and it's turned you away from divine love and the seeds planted for, you know, all of that going on. It's been a distraction, okay? Because some of you have been waiting, you've been, you know, tossing your life away. I know I've been through this so many times, you guys, is to wait for some individual to step into their power. And actually you were just holding yourself back and them back. Okay. You're holding each other back. And some of you are like, if this individual is meant to be with me, they will. And they will. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But they got to do their work without you worrying about them, without you holding them back, without you like having expectations. Because for some of you, yeah, this individual on your mind definitely could be the person that comes in. Okay, I'm not saying they won't. But it's like, I feel like that you have an understanding they have to find their own power, and you release the expectations. Okay, it's like you let go. That's what I'm seeing here. You let go. Yeah, you guys have dismantled something with toxicity and codependency with the Tower in this. You know, normally somebody would be like, oh my God, this is so bad. I don't see this as bad today at all. I see this as good. I see this as freedom. I see this as you allow the Tower to take place, and you accept it, and you cut the chains. And this can be to anybody, you guys. This doesn't even have to be a masculine. This can be to anybody that distorted your view on love. Okay. And you let it go. You let go of systems. It's like you're accepting freedom today. And understanding you're not. You're not prisoned. You're not half a fucking soul. Okay? Something fell apart for you today that just freed you, is what I'm hearing since the shift. Okay? Something dismantled, whether it's just in your soul or the dark side just let you go, or you just accepted. There's something here that freed some of you guys today, okay, or an understanding. But some of you are still thinking you're imprisoned, and you're not, is what I'm picking up. You're not. All right. Yeah, some of you are willingly carrying around this baggage, and you don't have to, is what I'm picking up. You guys are wrapping up a major karmic cycle right now, and some of you are still holding on to baggage, and you don't have to. Because it's like, oh, well, you know, it's just like, I feel like for some of you that you're free, but you're looking for the baggage. Does that make sense? And it's going to become more work than anything to keep on carrying the baggage. And for some of you, it's like individuals that gave you controlled love. They gave you conditioned love. It's hard to accept that. You're free from it. You know. Or it's the system here. Okay? Is the system tying you down? Okay? It's your thoughts. It's test. I'm picking up test as well. Because a lot of this is just, it's overthinking, all right? It's overthinking. And some of the anxiety that you're experiencing, you guys, is like literally getting your soul pieces back and putting yourself back together. And it's looking for the darkness that comforted you, okay? Because it's been a comfort for how long? We've been lied to for how long? For how many generations? Okay, so it is a baggage. It's hard to let go. There is like conditions behind love that's been installed that's hard to let go, because you thought it was love. You thought that's what love was. You thought you were supposed to beg for it. You thought all these things, right? And it's a really hard realization. And that's why I'm sharing a lot of this stuff on in my Facebook group about this harsh truth, because it's like, you know, read this now, try to absorb it, or you're going to have some sort of soul shock later about it. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, you guys are letting go of garbage today. You're letting it go. Okay, you're working on it. You're purging it is what I'm picking up. Okay, I know some of you are waiting on a clearing and stuff like that, but we kind of had to not do clearings for a couple days and then get back to them because things were a little chaotic with the shift and everything like that. So, plus we got the kids that like to interrupt things. um, you guys are letting go of baggage to go down your divine path. That's what I'm saying. But I feel such fear in a sense. I feel like what I'm getting is a relaxed state and then fear at the same time. Does that make sense? Because it's like, you know, okay, and then you hear these stories like around the world of people being locked down and that sort of thing as well, which is true, right? Like England and stuff like that. But they got to rise too, and we're going to have to rise. And we know that here in the States that we're going to have the same shit over here. We know that we're going back into a lockdown. We're aware of it. We feel it. It's written in the stars, literally. Okay. You know, and it's promoting fear in some of the feminine here. Like, you guys just... It's a relaxation state, but it's like, okay, like some people are like, well, where I live, you can't even tell there's a pandemic. Where I live, there's this and that. I'm free where I live from all of this stuff going on in this world, but that's not true. There's a bit of delusion behind that as well, because this whole world is ran on this bullshit. So I tell people, like, okay, it doesn't matter where you live right now, you still have this bullshit to deal with. We still have to face the reality. So there's this aspect of facing the reality, and are you being in denial? So you guys are kind of like learning the difference in that. Does that make sense? Okay, because a lot of people think if their town isn't, you know, going along with the mask mandates as strong or enforcing it as strong, or their state or their country, that they're free. And there's countries that think because things got let up a little bit that they're free. No. But you do have the choice of acknowledging your freedom. You do have the choice of saying, I am here in my flesh and blood and I am a free human being. Okay? So there's delusions and reality coming in here is what I'm seeing here, because some of it's a bit of delusion and denial. Honestly, I have to be real. Yeah, I saw that about London, you guys, and you guys will rise. You guys will rise. A lot of this is because of the ownership, the slavery, and the karmic debt behind it, and the gold value on human beings. That's why a lot of this is going on, you guys, and I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. Okay, there's more going on than meets the eye. And I do feel they're like telling us openly kind of what's going on too. You know, there's hints and stuff being dropped left and right that people aren't seeing, or they take it as offense, or, you know, like I plant seeds all the time and people just like, oh, whatever. You know, it's like, okay, well, some people just are never going to acknowledge it. Okay, so it's a matter of acknowledging and accepting that, you know, there's more going on than meets the eye. And that some things that we're fixated on and focusing on is just a distraction from reality. And that the leaders in this world are intentionally trying to distract us off it, yes. They're trying to get us fixated on trying to fix other things, yes. But they're also planting seeds and telling us directly what's going on. And people don't want to listen to that, because they're like, well, I gotta save, you know, I gotta, my mission is to save these people that are slaved, or these people that are having this issue and that sort of thing, but they're not looking in the mirror and seeing that they're slaved as well. Do you understand that? So the upper people that are involved in this, you guys, they want some of you to be free, okay? They do. And they do plant those seeds as well. But at the same time, they're just like trying to see who's gonna focus on other shit. Okay, they're testing you. Yeah, they did it on purpose. And I know Trump has a dark side. I'm not going to lie that. I know all politicians do, but he says shit all the time that's hands. Elon Musk does too. And I catch that shit. I catch that stuff. No, don't tell me how to run my channel. Have a good day. I know, he drops hints all the time. But everybody has so much hatred. But he doesn't care if he has haters. He doesn't care. He knows that some people aren't going to make it. So, they all know that. They all know that. Look in the community tab. Oh, they told me I can feel the negative energy. Just get on with the reading. And I just kicked him out. Fuck you. You're not telling me on my fucking channel. If you don't want to hear this shit, get the fuck out. I don't have time. So, anyway, I feel like a lot of you have let go of the fact that you can't go back to your old self, is what I'm picking up. You can't go back to what you were. You just can't. You can't rekindle with your old life, with the people that were bringing you down or pulling you back. And there's just a huge realization of that today, that you're not going back to your old self. So that's why a lot of you are purging, having crying fits, you know, that sort of thing, and a realization of this. Okay, with the Hermit in reverse, like, you know that you have to let go of reconciling with that old version of yourself and reconciling with that timeline. That's why I tell people all the time, we're not going back to normal. So if you want to play the dictation that tells you that if you follow the rules and comply, obey, and all that bullshit, that's fine, but you're not walking back to normal. You know? So yeah, a lot of crying today. I can feel it off the collective, you guys, when I tap into you guys prior, you know. I can feel it, and I'm like, why am I sad all of a sudden? And then Jack's like, this is your collective. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, you guys are being illuminated on, like, something major today, and that, you know what? Your old self was not happy. It was not abundance. It was controlled. It was bullshit, right? And you were chasing happiness the whole time. You were chasing abundance the whole time, the feminine energy here. And it's just a wake-up call. You don't want that old fucking self, okay? And we've been so used to being unhappy and pretending we're happy and chasing happiness and abundance and dreams and getting promised all these things that we're almost like craving misery. Does that make sense? Because I know I've been there a lot, you know. You get to the point where you expect misery, you crave misery, you assume you have to be misery, you know, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And, you know, I have bad days. I get into negative Nelly, you know, I have days where I'm bitchy and whatnot. That's normal, okay? But it's like you get to the point where the old timeline was just faking it to make it and just obeying and complying and that sort of shit, that it's almost like you just assume that life is miserable because that's what we were told. How do you get out of it? You accept and let go, okay? And you rise above and you have a knowing. And like I said, some people are like, but I have to go to my job. Okay, I understand that totally. But if you just have that knowing, money is an illusion, you guys. Okay? It's paper being passed around. Yes, it's part of survival. Yes, absolutely. But it doesn't define you. And that's why if you look into a lot about this natural laws, you guys, like banks are scams, money is scams. We take out loans, we're taking out debt on ourselves. You guys, we don't even owe debt, okay? I found that out too. We don't even owe debt. Debt's already paid. We're taking out paper on ourselves. Does that make sense? On the gold value that humans have in each country. It's fucked right up. And it is the deepest reality that you'll ever grasp. Yeah, we don't owe that. It's an illusion. It's a dictation. It's a fear. So we willingly give our soul to them. Mortgages, scams. Student loans, scams. Debt, scams. It's all mark of the beast. It's bullshit. It's already paid in full. And then there's people behind the scenes that are taking out bonds on you. It sucks. It sucks. I got that too. Yeah, I do. So, yes, Barbara, you are absolutely correct. And did you guys know that we own fucking Walmart too? Yeah, we own Walmart, you guys. So we go buy our shit twice. I always say whoever finds my channel is meant to find my channel. That's why I have a small collective and I accepted that, and I'm not in a race to blow up and be rich and famous. Absolutely not. Because it's not meant for everybody. It's just not. Because some people are not going to choose the lifestyle of freedom or accepting any of this. Okay, so yeah, and you're taxed and you're paying out like it's fucked up. Like you go to the loan and you go to the bank and get a loan and you're taking out a loan on humans. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a lot of Virgo followers, you guys. It's kind of funny, actually. It's funny. So yeah, we own Walmart. Yes, I always said there was shade on motherfucking Walmart. So, one of my daughters is North Node Virgo as well. I can't remember which one it is. Freya, maybe? No, you don't have to give love to people. That's the thing. Somebody really did you horrible. You don't have to love them. You're not forced to love them. Accepting with love. Does that make sense? And accepting the lesson behind it, and then it made you a stronger person. Accepting with love and having boundaries is what I say all the time. So you don't have to say, and that's why a lot of you with connections you've been obsessed about for how long or waiting for how long, it's been somebody with a closed heart space, and you've been bleeding your love out to this individual, wanting a result, wanting this fairy tale story, okay, and there's been devices behind it running it and causing some of this, which is something I've grasped. Not all of them, not all the connections are that. I've just discovered a lot of them are, or they have these devices, and even if the connection is divinely meant to be, it can't be like that, you know? So you're pouring your love out to somebody who doesn't want to take it, or somebody who abuses it. And this unconditional love, like, actually holds the dark system up, to be honest. So, and these masculines, I mean, they got to learn compassion too. I mean, they do. You know, people in the dark timeline, I consider, like, that's what I'm going to be reading now is the masculine energy, which is like everybody in the dark timeline or the old timeline. They seem to run on my masculine collective, just friends, family, co-workers, everything, your own distortion, inner masculine, where you're letting go of the illusion behind the system, that sort of thing. So, oh, you mean he'll go to somebody else for programmed love? Well, that program's dismantling, so wish him well and blow him a kiss, okay? Because the people that have to find love are not going to support it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to them. You know, and that's been the biggest thing for me, is knowing that a lot of people that were in my life that I do love and care about are choosing this dark timeline. That has been the hardest thing for me. So hard. And to know that some of them are driving their kids to it too. I mean, it's so fucking hard for me. So, something I can do. And then they're all, science says, science says. I don't give a fuck what science says. If the government's willing to lie, so is science, okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough. It's tough. Well, okay. So people don't want to trust my guidance or my inner wisdom, okay? So they don't want to trust that, which is fine, whatever. Okay? Where do you think inventions come from? Where do you think science comes from? Do you think it's coming from a piece of paper from some other universe or something like that? Somebody obviously figured it out. Somebody got it downloaded. Somebody got the wisdom to begin with. You know? So, you're not supposed to trust your own inner wisdom, but you're supposed to trust fucking science. Okay. Don't trust yourself. Just let everybody else make you a fucking experiment. Yeah. Tesla has good and bad. Elon Musk, he's like a crazy ass, but some of the stuff that he says, like he drops hints and he'll promote this toxic shit, and then he's like, but I wouldn't do this, you know, like he'll say this stuff. I don't know, I get a kick out of it. You should watch some of these elites when they talk. They say it right to you. And you know what? Somebody's like, but science, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I've seen like 4,000 different views of science. And Fossey is not your owner either. Okay? They're supposed to. It's called quantum physics. Yep. Quantum physics. I know, that's just it, like it comes true. That's why I'm just remaining more confident. You know how much shit I got when I called out this stuff in the pandemic? Oh my god. And then when the pandemic started and I said there was a war coming, you're just trying to fear and stall. Oh, it's like, okay, whatever, then don't fucking believe me. Here we are. I saw it, like I saw visuals, and so did my husband. Like he's like saying for a long time, like there's like a sickness coming. Like I see people wearing masks and stuff. So I figure if you don't want to listen, that's fine. Yes, well, I already have sleep issues anyways. I've been on medication for sleep that I'm trying to get off of still. So I'm no perfect either. I still got like medication I'm trying to get off of. So what you should look up, you guys, one of the things I want to see is the schools rebuilt really bad. How Elon Musk teaches his children about his secret school. Look up on that, because it's exactly what I want to do. Oh, Heather, is probably for the best to let go, you know. That's what I mean. Where do you think science comes from, geniuses? You know, that was so bad. And just like to the point where it's like, you know, I do have love for humanity, but sometimes I want to be like, okay, never mind. Never mind. And it's just like when people write books, when they do poetry, when they, you know, come up with these ideas, it's like it's coming from somewhere, you know? The veil's already lifted. The veil's already lifted. That's the thing. It is lifted. It's so thin right now, you guys. Thank you for the donation, angels. It's so thin. It's just that people are still like purposely covering their eyes. And some people purposely shut their third eyes. And some people are purposely selling themselves over to the dark timeline. So they may not directly see it. And yeah, when this comes out openly, which I feel February is what I keep hearing on that, some people might just drop over. But I feel like from now to February, a lot of people may pass away. I hate that. I hate saying that. I feel like the biggest bitch. But the veil's so thin, you guys, that If somebody could fart in the spiritual realm, you would like smell it right away. It's so thin, it's insane. And when people think about me, it's like I see their energy immediately. I'm like, okay, you guys, there's no hiding here. No, no, I'm not watching you guys. It's really tough when you're really in tune because it's like you know when somebody's thinking about you, or sometimes I know when somebody's like reading some of my stuff or watching my videos. Sometimes I can see their energy. So weird. Yeah. You guys, I think farting is kind of funny personally. I don't know. And you know what else? They're worried about pollution. Did you know that humans are the most pollution? Because of farts and burps and shitting and our waste and everything like that. They're so worried about cars, and like humans are the most. And just our breath and stuff. Yeah. That's another thing I've been learning too. They're like, oh, you have a big truck, you're a consumer. And it's like, humans are the most ones polluting, you know? Okay. Let's see what's going on with the masculine or the dark timeline to get our earths that resonates. Well, and those of you that got mini readings, you guys, I am working on them. I know I got a couple messages. I first come, first serve. I do them when I can. So if you're booked on the website, you're on the calendar. All right. So it'll come. We stocked up on some goods too recently. Nobody's ever going to be 100% ready because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Do you ever think draining the swamp is draining some of humanity? I don't know why I just heard that, but you ever think that? I don't know. All right, so masculine energy, you guys. The King of Cups in reverse came out, so I'm going to keep it in reverse. So I feel like they're really struggling emotionally. Okay, it's like emotional distortion. Distortion with emotions, distortion with compassion, trying to figure it out. What is it? What is it supposed to be? Like, you know, during that time frame when you realize what unconditional love is and it's hard to accept it and understand it. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm not surprised. Let's just check out with the Eight of Cups here. Let's just check out from it then. Let's just ignore it and go enjoy Christmas and play happy and pretend everything's fine. Because I kind of feel like Christmas this year is the last shebang with the old timeline, if you want this year, okay? And I also feel like there's going to be a lot of fighting with families and shit like that as well. So, I don't know. Right now, the masculine energy is like consciously choosing to be in the old timeline, but they're wondering like, why are my emotions kind of weird? You know, why do I feel strange? And, you know, why do I feel like I want to cry? Or like, you know, they feel like something is going on. Okay. And, this is for anybody in the dark timeline, really, you know, so this is anybody, but do you notice how people all of a sudden are a little bit less argumentative lately about defending some of the stupid shit because there's not a lot more to say, okay? Defending just started looking more asinine. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. They're just like, I'm just going to emotionally check out and I'm just going to, you know. They have nothing to give. They just have nothing to give. They don't know what to give, and they know that a lot of the feminine here, like, wouldn't accept what they have anyways, which is probably just bullshit for most of you anyways. Or, you know, it's just from the old timeline, or it's the old ways, or it's more manipulation. They don't feel that you trust them, okay, is what I'm seeing. So for some of you that let go of toxic individuals in general here, these people just feel like that you don't trust them, that you know, that they can't give to you. This person's spying on you a lot. Whoever I'm picking up here, I do feel like this is a masculine here that's spying on you a lot, that's really having distortion with the emotions. And this masculine energy, so this may be a lot of you, it may be just a chunk of you. I think it's a few. I heard 1/3. I'm not sure. But I feel like this person is a little bit guarded, or these individuals, and they're watching you, and they're like kind of keeping tabs or paying attention to what you're doing, because there's something to what you're doing that seems to be right, is exactly what I just heard. So I don't know who that's going to resonate for. It doesn't matter. Don't obsess about it. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. And it's like this person, it's just, they're watching, but they're a little bit guarded about it, sneaky about it, that sort of thing. Probably John. But they feel trapped, okay? So let's just say, it's like, whoever this is, I don't know who that is even going to be, but what I see is they're like sitting there and emotionally detaching, and they're feeling like they want to cry. That's what I'm picking up intuitively. And they have nothing to give. And it's like they're obsessively watching what you're doing on their phones, what I'm seeing. I don't know. They're trying to manifest you in, but they can't, is what I heard, because you put blocks up. You won't accept their energy, so they're probably trying to get an energy feed too, okay? But they can't. And they're feeling the consequence of it, okay? That's what I'm hearing. So, take it or leave it. Yeah, this person cannot play games. So this person cannot manipulate into getting your energy. They can't come in with the vitamin D, if that's your story. Okay, they can't come in. It's like you guys aren't, they feel like you're not attracted to them, is what I'm hearing. It's like they feel like you don't find them attractive. Okay, they really miss your energy. This is an actual male energy I'm picking up on. For some of you, this person has black hair, like dark black hair is what I'm seeing, like darkish hair. So I'm hearing 1/3 of you, though. This is what's going on for some of you. So, I don't know. But they're being illuminated on something here, is what I'm seeing. This person is waking up a little bit, you guys, whoever this is. I mean, I'm not going to give promises here, but that's what I'm seeing. Okay, this person knows that you offered him love. This person is like starting to feel something is different about you. Okay, but I feel like they're just trying to kind of check out from it at the same time. This person knows that they have some, you know, karma with you. They know they have an imbalance with you. They're waking up to this. I kind of feel like they're seeing something here, because your energy's gone. So some of you, like, you removed your energy, or their energy got removed out of your energy, whatever. Okay, and they feel that release. You guys just, like, you just let it go to the light, is what I'm saying. You let it go to divine timing. Like, you just did. Okay? And I feel like that for some of you, there's been a transformation for you, especially, for viewers especially. But for the masculine energy here, there's like some sort of breakthrough that, oh my God, something is missing. I don't have this energy anymore. You know, I feel emotional or something like that. And like I said, like, yeah. They're watching, obsessively watching is what I'm picking up here, and thinking about those old memories. Okay, and you know, they're still attached. The thing is with the masculine, you guys, is they're still codependent on your energy. They have been for so long. It's one thing about this you know, the installment of the program behind some of these connections, it's cause energetic codependency. Okay? And they're still codependent on your energy, so they're looking for it. They have not fully released it. They have not fully released the energetic side of the connection, but I feel like that you forced it on your end. They're not allowed to grab at you anymore. And they can feel that strongly. So it's forcing something to shift in them, whether they just choose to go down the darkness, or they transform and accept that they have got to change. Even if they come to you or they don't come to you, they have got to change. It's not going to work. Okay? That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, you guys surrendered. You know, all this madness, and you're like, oh my God, I remember when they made me happy. I remember this and that. And you're just like, oh, bye. That's what I'm saying. Some of you got no shame. You got no shame. And you know, the thing is that I feel like some of you are like, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. And they have a distorted perception on what awakening is. Okay. And it's from the ego yet. It's still from the ego. So it's still like, you know, like people see abundance, or, you know, hear abundance and they think that's rich with money. That's not abundance. That's not necessarily what abundance is, right? It's about happiness, fulfillment, you know, that sort of thing, and being in your divine whole self and being happy with that and content. Okay. And I feel like some of them, they think they're awakening maybe, or they tried to convince you they were awakening, and it was like distorted and just complete ego. Okay, it was like, you know, I don't know, whatever. And I feel like some people are like, well, you know, my masculine is aware of what 5G does, or, you know, they're aware of this or that. But no, that's not awakening to your divine self necessarily. That's awareness, yes. That's being awake to the system and parts of it, yes. But that's not full-on divine connection necessarily, or getting into your whole self. You don't need to be a big spiritualist that flies around astrally or something like that, but in your divine whole self, getting back to your divinity. Some of you just let go of this connection because they're just too ego. Because you guys are at different paths with goals. You just are. You're down different timelines. Plain and simple, cutthroat, no way to say it any other way. Okay? And some of you, that's just it. And I feel like some of you close the door on this connection and you're done. Okay? Because you're like, this person was fucking shitty. And I feel like some of you, you know, you're getting somebody in the new timeline coming in that's going to be much better. Okay, because you realize that you were settling and you were, you know, essentially allowing yourself to be pulled back into the darkness. And I noticed when I put posts up on Instagram, people are still very much in the old timeline and they don't even know it, because they're sitting there expecting, longing, obsessing, you know, he's coming, I'm waiting, and this and that. They don't even know. They don't even see that they haven't let go. They think they let go, but they haven't. It's just very much ego. Okay, and most of you that resonate with this, you have let go. You have let go. So you're not in that anymore. Hopicite is still holding onto the programming, but you know, they're going to start feeling painful effects of that. So that's up to them. And I've gotten comments like, you're stopping divine connections. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to bring them together. If you just listen a little bit here, you know, you can't force a divine connection. Because sometimes a divine connection, it's somebody that's an ex, you guys, that comes in all changed. It's somebody that you're with now. It's somebody that's coming, you know. Like, it's not supposed to be known. That's just it. It's not supposed to be known. John, on the 21st, unions are dropping into place, remember? And I feel like this person denied this connection, ran from this connection, you guys, but I feel this was complete divine protection, 110% for you. Okay, but this person is regretting that. You know, I get emails, people get readings from me, and it's like, does he love me? When is he coming? When is our union happening? When is this? And I'm just like, I can't answer that stuff for you. You know, I can't. I can read the current energy. I can kind of see what's going on in the connection. I will not read into their private life. I will not do it. If they don't want to, you know, if they want a private life with other situations, I'm not going to force read into that, you know. So So what I'm picking up here, you guys, is that you kind of let go of the control of divine timing, and that's just it. With divine timing, that's why when people are promised times of union, months, dates, portals, whatever, full moons, blah, 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 that's taking away from the definition of divine timing. And it's distorting it, and some of you are realizing that. Okay, and it also took away from your healing. It also distracted you from healing your ancestral patterns. It really did, and I'm seeing that. So some of you, you healed this, you worked on this, you saw the patterns that you were repeating in your lineage. Okay, and you realize that this is not love. This is not love. You were just repeating something in your lineage, whether you saw it or not. Okay. And some of you were just completely faking who you were for this individual. Okay, you were shifting who you were. You were shaping who you were for this individual, totally taking away from yourself. I feel like some of you really woke up to some shit the last couple of days, really massively. And that's just it. With everything going on, you guys, we're going to rapidly go through stuff. There's going to be changes so quick. So quick. And that's the most frightening part about it. It's like we're going to time travel or something. I don't know. However that comes out. But anyway. This person is pulled back towards you. For some of you, yes. Definitely. Okay, definitely. They are. And I do feel there's regret here for some of you. They wish it was different. They have regrets. What I'm hearing for some of you is just be careful with, thank you for the donation. Be careful with listening to like guidance from friends in your group and stuff like that, because some of them are going to tell you, you're letting go of this connection that's going to save the earth. Or, you know, you're going to hear stuff like that. Okay. Or somebody's going to be jealous of you if you find somebody else, you guys, and you are in a high vibrational connection, and it is the one that's meant to be for you right now. You're going to have people acting like you're throwing away this beautiful divine connection that you know is just not going to work right now. Okay, and a lot of it is jealousy as well. Because I do feel when there is like a high vibrational union of some sort or divine connection of some sort, there is a lot of jealousy behind it. Because I feel like the old timeline wants you to be sitting there chasing it. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful of that. Okay? Whoever I'm picking up on, though, they do miss your energy. And they do want to rekindle with you, but it's like sexually, or they crave your soul, they crave your energy. That's what I'm seeing. But some of you, you're going to try something new. You're going to try another soul shine. You got one manifesting in. There's something here manifesting in for some of you. That's what I'm picking up. And everyone can feel love, you guys. It's opening up that heart space and being willing to receive it off the collective. And, you know, getting in with the collective that has divine love and accepting and receiving that balance. That's how soul families are coming together. It is through love. Okay? Yep. Because you know what, you guys? They're miserable. They're miserable, so they want you to be miserable too. That's just how it works. That's why people have been guilt tripping us, trying to silence us. You don't care, you're this and that, you're the, you know, whatever. So, Our DNA is healing, you guys. That's what it's doing. As we heal our souls and put our soul pieces back together and heal our lineages that distorted our DNA, your actual DNA does heal and go back together. That's how I feel a lot of physical illnesses will heal. I don't know why I keep getting that. And I know that before I'd been like, oh, that stuff never happens, that sort of thing. But that's what I'm seeing. Because it's like your lineages were holding some of you, and the distortion, the system, your past slaves, your trauma was holding pieces of you, causing a lot of this illness, okay? And yeah, I do. And some people call it install your new program. No, you're not installing your new fucking program. Okay, no. Quit the program shit. So, but yeah, you are healing your DNA. You definitely are. So, don't call it a program though. Because there's also the dark side trying to install the DNA. And install these programmings from the afar of some sort, which is the false light ascension. So that's why a lot of you have body pain. You guys are going through a really huge sacral cleansing of letting go of some of the MK Ultra ancestral baggage. Okay, which is the sexual trauma that's been installed. So, and that's why when Jack's done some clearing, some of you get your womanly cycle. Because he's unblocking the sacral. So, no, that's what I saw this post. I even commented and I said, it's not a program installed. It's like some of the posts, the more aware I am of shit. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. So why are you installing a fucking program? Yeah, bladder issues is another one with the sacral as well, yeah. I feel like it's expelling the MK Ultra or whatever you want to call it. So I honestly, more than anything, more than installing a program, we're uninstalling a program. And that is like so painful. It's so painful. That's why getting cords removed and stuff like that is extremely painful. Oh, by the way, I got some baby stuff today, you guys. Thank you. Like Megan sent me a bassinet today, and the girls got some stuff off their Christmas list. So thank you so much. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Ascension, I don't really buy into ascension symptoms that much, but basically, if you want to call it that, it's just a word, really, okay? But sometimes I feel like ascension and kundalini is ran by an outside control force. Basically, what I feel is going on is you're uninstalling the old. You're throwing it out. So, it's just a matter of accepting. And a lot of people don't want to uninstall the old timeline, so that's why they're resisting having more issues. See, okay, when the false light got a device on me or whatever, I think it was last year, I had the kundalini shit. And it was just ridiculous. And now I see that it was all fake. It was all controlled. So I'm glad I experienced that so I can talk about it, The headaches is a big one right now as we uninstall the old shit, and you guys are getting devices that are coming off you naturally. Yeah, we've had headaches here too, and sinus pressure and stuff like that. So yeah, I had kundalini and then I got the devices removed and it all stopped. It all stopped. And I don't have ascension symptoms really anymore, just, minor things and stuff like that, and I don't get sick or anything anymore. But I did have a headache. I did have headaches the last couple of days. This person's longing for you guys. Like, I don't know. I feel major regret here. For some of you, this person used you for money. They used you for, sex or whatever. Or just, your energy, your time, your everything. They were siphoning you dry. So I'm hearing. Yeah, the pain in the head has been a real common one. And then like the day before the shift, there was a massive dark attack, and it clouded connection, and it caused so much pain and agony. That was awful. It was like one last attempt. And as you guys awaken, like, you're kind of going to look at this individual and be like, okay, what was I thinking? Because it was your old self. And if they're still in that vibration of your old self, you're not going to see it the same, probably. You know, it's going to be normal. And then you're going to have people that act like you just threw away. You didn't wait. You know, just don't listen to that. So some things you just got to trust your own gut on things. And I do feel like there's been some AI shut off. And, you know, I was saying this yesterday in my video that, you know, some gifts were artificially ran. And some of it was being siphoned off people that have it organically through the AI system. Because not everybody is born with that stuff, like certain things, you know what I'm saying? We all have an intuition and things like that, but not everybody's the same. We're not supposed to be. And I feel like the artificial intelligence was trying to siphon off everybody and make us all the same, and we're not. We have different lineages. We come from different places. We have different, you know, soul families. It's just the way it is. So yeah, it was. They can siphon, because when I had devices put on me, because I actually have, you know, a lot of natural born stuff. So when they got a device on me, I know that other people were benefiting off it. So if you can't get rid of them, I don't know what to tell you. You have to have the willpower to do it. Alright, so messages, you guys. I am not good enough. I send messages through music. I'd be careful with that, though. Matrix. And that's why some of your connections, you guys, the masculine all of a sudden gains these abilities as well, because some of it is being siphoned through you. Like through cords and siphoning. And if you've been a victim to the alien love bite, that's part of it as well. Is putting devices between people. There's definitely some truth to that, I do feel. Move on for now. Yeah, and then, I don't know. They get the ability to astral project, and I don't even know if they know they're doing it. You know, and that's why that book, it was saying that all of a sudden they have this strong intuition, and they'll say, oh, well, you're wearing an orange shirt or something like that. And, you know, it's just part of the whole thing. So yeah, and a lot of it is the siphoning. So a lot of the masculines, you guys, if you let go or they're in the old timeline, they can't do that anymore. They can't, like, energy spy on you anymore. Okay, and they can't siphon off you anymore that easily anyways, unless you, like, willingly go give it to them, which is going to hurt you now, probably. It is going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt them, too. So that's why if you're still talking to people in the dark timeline, that's why you got to have those boundaries and just be very careful with how much you give and hand over and that sort of thing. It forces people to find themselves. I see myself in you. Thank you for being you. You made me who I am today. They know this is spiritual. Okay, this sense. I feel like that's another test for some of you. I've gotten a few messages about music and sense and synchronizations, and it's all the same stuff today. I feel like it's being sent out too. Some gifts get taken away, you guys. Some of them were artificially ran. Sometimes you can lose them, yes. I don't know why all the time. Some there are procedures, you guys, done in the medical and in other things like religion as well that do block your chakras, that do block your third eye. Baptism blocks the third eye, for example. The COVID test blocks the third eye. There's a lot of different factors that can be involved. But I know that somebody was like shape shifting as me because there was a female that messaged me one time that said I came to her having all this sex and stuff. And I'm like, no. So there was some sort of energy siphoning going on, shape shifting into my energy. So I doubt the spit ones are going to do it. But the ones up the nose, like scraping your brain, basically, yeah, they can block the third eye. The temperature in the forehead blocks third eye as well. That's why when I go in, I turn my head and they usually just take it here on the side. Yep, the temperature guns, all that. They purposely try to block our chakra system from birth. And I know people hate hearing this, but circumcision in men is a big one. Big one. And their babies. And vaccines, tests, those poor infants go through a lot. And then birth certificate, handing over ownership. Heather, yep, that would be exactly right. And I know people, I've had people get so mad at me about their circumcision stuff, but it's true. It's meant to cause trauma and block the pineal gland. And I'm done being quiet about it to comfort people that have guilt about it, because there's not much I can do. It's just basically science experiments. That's why when people are like, what science says? Well, you're a fucking science experiment? Okay. If you want to be that, that's fine. I'm not. No, I'm very anti-circumcision. I have been for many years, and the backlash is so intense on it, you guys. But we have the highest erectile dysfunction rate also in America, and the highest Viagra rate as well, amongst other things. So there's a lot more to it than just a little snippety snip. So, whatever. Yeah, and you can imagine how much pain it is for a 12-year-old. Now imagine a helpless baby that's just born into this world. You know? I'll never do it. My little boy, I don't even want to go have him in a hospital because I don't want him to have a bond on his ass. I don't want any of that. Yeah. No, and watch videos of it on YouTube. I always tell people watch videos before you make that decision on your newborn child. So they don't. They're in denial. Whatever. It's a huge money maker. Huge money maker. Well, if I had a son many years ago, I probably would have circumcised as well. Because I wouldn't have known. But we're against it in this household, so definitely would not. And it's not that people are stupid. It's just it's the uneducated. It's the brainwashing. It's not that you have to beat yourself up if you did it. You know, it's just doctors don't even know, you guys. A lot of them don't even know. So they're just doing their job basically, you know. So that's why I don't fully trust everything. But when I was young though, I was like, why would you like do that to a little boy? Like I didn't understand it, you know, and I looked into it later on. Yeah, there's actually a group on Facebook with men that are mad about it. Like, I don't know, I just like ran across a group of men that like are mad they had it done or something like that and having a restoration of some sort. I don't know. Like you can do a restoration or I don't know. Yeah, that's just what we did. Yeah, I know. That's why last night I was like having kind of a mini meltdown. And I'm like, oh my God, I just signed my kids over. You know, it is a lot. It's a lot to grasp. It's a lot to accept. It's like shameful. There's guilt, you know, and it's like and I had the chance not to register my children because I had them on odd days where having them register at the hospital wasn't an option. So I had to go do it myself. You know, I had that chance not to register my children. And I'm like, God damn it, that was divine protection. What was I thinking? It just pisses me off, you know? Um, yeah, not doing it to this one. Yeah, whatever. I've asked men that aren't cut if they get left in the locker room, and they all said no. Because I asked this shit. I'm that blunt person. I'm that blunt person. You know, I always look into that shit. You can like imagine doing it to yourself. Like you can imagine pulling it out. Imagine an energetic block being put up. Okay. Um, Jack does them, but he's got quite a few to do right now. So if you want it now, he's the best at that though, because chain removal is actually like it takes a lot of energy, a lot of light to do them. It takes some of his light to do them, and then he takes some of the toxicity from the clearing, you know. So yeah, he's really good at it. I can do him too, but he's like the best at it. So I always recommend him. But some people are like, I'm not comfortable with him doing it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it then. But it's it can be a draining procedure to do. It literally is a procedure. I know that sounded weird, but it kind of is. Because sometimes then you do removals yourself, there's like cords that you don't see or you're blinded to in a sense, you know. So uh if you saw the masculines that we've dealt with, I'm sure yours is no big deal. I'm sure yours is no big deal. He just texted me right now, what is Reiki? Reiki's like baby work compared to what we do. You know, like, and then some people are like, oh, my masculine's this big powerhouse and he can hijack and he can do all these things. And it's like we find them and it's like, no, not really. They're just controlled, you know? So, but we don't clear them without their permission because that's just not right, you know? So just take the chains off or whatever. No, Ricky's like more of a lighter type of energy work. Jack's like, no one can beat him. So if your masculine's toxic, nobody can beat him anyways. It's not gonna hurt him. He always says, I've never lost a fight. And it's true. He never has. Yeah, Reiki is basically chakra opening. It's just more of a lighter work, I guess. More of a balancing. You can do Reiki on yourself, to be honest. It's pretty easy to do. No, he's never lost a fight. That's why when he was a kid, he used to get in fights at school because he was defending justice the whole time. Since he was a little kid, he was always about like defending justice, and that's what Aries North Node does basically. So it's kind of funny. There's actually more men than you think not circumcised. Coming to find that out. Oh yeah, you can feel those devices. Like if I watch a video, and I reject them pretty good now, so I don't even feel them really anymore. If I'm watching a video that's trying to sway how I think, because that's how devices get on you and it's trying to sway you into something, I can feel it on my head. Like I can feel it try to go in, but I reject it. Well, most of the world it is common other than America because America obviously is kind of fucked up anyway. As we can see over here. Let's just be honest. We're like the only country that thinks you gotta work to death, basically. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't do a lot of clearings, but during readings, I know I clear energy naturally. It's just part of what I do. Yeah, that's true. I know the UK is kind of messed up right now, but they'll step up. They will. Housework. I wish I had more done today. It's worth it to get done. He doesn't like push it, the service or anything, because we figure if people need it and they'll find them to do it. He doesn't push anything. He's pretty quiet about it. The problem is that some people get anxious about getting a clearing and then they put their own energetic blocker on them, so that gets to be kind of hard. So I have to tell some people, like, you need to calm down, ground yourself a little bit. And that's why it's easier to do them when people are sleeping too. They're more relaxed. And that's why people are like, oh, your husband came to me in my dream last night, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, England, you guys will rise up. People are not gonna. I know you guys over there, like, you're not gonna tolerate it. Those of you that are awake to it, you're not. But you guys are in the same thing the U.S. is in a sense with the being owned. It's the same system that owns you guys as it does us in Canada and stuff. So it's one thing I've figured out reading up on this shit. Gold value, man. Isn't that nice that we've been just sold as gold freaking value? Mm-hmm. I hate it. And the heavier you are, the more you're worth. It just sounds so fucked up. Was that you that messaged me? Yeah, you can message him. Yep. Actually, you're very correct about that. It's because of the value over here in America. 100%. They want us to weigh more. It's messed up, but it's true. Brings up the value. So that's why I'm hoping that people step up and get out of this. And I just feel like people are just going to come together. I don't know. And help each other, or like community or something. I do see that happening, and it doesn't have to be forced or planned, really. I just feel like it's going to happen. I know, isn't that fucked up? Do you notice during Rona they like gave more food stamps to people, and people like sat around and ate and stuff? Like, oh my god, don't exercise, you guys. Like, It's no different than going and selling your head of cattle. Wake up, people. Yes, just like livestock. Yep. So we can't run them because you're worth more. Literally, like if you're morbidly obese, you're worth more in gold value. Because they ran out of gold, so you're the gold. Sucks. Because they're intentionally trying to block the third eye. They do shit at the doctor's office to particularly stop you from being awake. It's intentional. That's why the one thing in that book that I read that says that people, are set up to be divinely guided, not to trust the doctors, that is not a setup. I didn't agree with that part of that book that I read. That's bullshit. So yeah, well, if they want more weight on me, I've been putting it on good, so I guess I'm on track there. Yep, they want you miserable, damaged. They want you energy siphoning yourself to everybody around you. They they want our children to run us too, you guys. It's so messed up when you look at it all. It's messed up. And a lot of the kids, they want to be free from this too. Like they see it. Some of them don't, some of them do. Just have sex to your anxiety. Well, you know what? Like, masturbating and orgasming, I'm not telling you to go be promiscuous, but it does help depression, though. It does help. Yeah. When people are like, there is no God, God's not real. Well, that's the part of the paganism that I agree with is that, God is no control and God is trusting yourself and getting in touch with earth and that sort of thing. So it's like, well, you don't trust yourself then, right? It's kind of how I see it. So you're looking at the system as your mommy and daddy because basically they are because they own us. Slave owner. And then, it doesn't matter how nice a cop is or how nice somebody is, they're still part of it and they don't even know. They're running it, programmed to run it for the slave owners. It just kind of is like a huge reality. And then, like, they said something like the courtroom, how it's set up like a ship or whatever, and you go in there. I don't know. Oh my God, it's so fucked up. And you don't even have to accept a speeding ticket. You don't have to accept so much. There's so much we just obey to. We just obey. It's just like natural. It's like teaching your dog to obey. Of course they are, because they're trained to undercover start war, basically. That's how I see it. That's why I said, wake the fuck up. I get your want for democracy, but this is not democracy, people. This is not love. This is dictation, obey, comply, and start a war. Oh, thanks. So, yeah, and there's something to that too. There's ways to get out of a ticket. You can go like, well, you don't even have to accept them. That's an illusion. I found that out. There's groups on Facebook and they have the documents like saying this and what you can say if you get pulled over. Don't sign anything by all means, and don't sign anything with your capital first letters, because that's like signing with your slave name. So ridiculous. So you can like say, I'm here in my flesh and blood and natural state, and I do not accept, or something like that. And people have been, they've had to let them go. They had to let them go. So it's crazy. I mean, if you've done something real rotten, I mean, then you've done something rotten, but I know there's speeding tickets handed out just to get money and, you know, scam. Yeah, so I got like 80% Norwegian or something. Or Scandinavian, I don't know, I can't remember. Like strong. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get off here. I gotta to do a few readings before I go to bed here. And hopefully I get my energy back so I can get caught up again. It's been an exhausting couple days. All right, have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.